Hello everybody, welcome to another Faith Reviews video. This will be another review on The Office because you guys all voted on that. If you want to know how to vote on polls, I will be trying to link every poll I do for a new video in the description down below because I don't really want to do it on my Twitter anymore because I don't really associate my Twitter with my YouTube channel. I know that seems stupid, but I personally don't feel like doing it, so fuck it. If you want to know how to vote, I will be leaving a poll down below to a link to a poll because I don't know how else to do it. So it's been a while since I've reviewed The Office, but I have been binge watching it and I thought it was, time to review season 3 like I promised everyone. So season 3 of The Office first aired with their first episode, Gay Witch Hunt, on September 21st of 2007. That seems like fucking forever ago. This episode was, in my opinion, a very good representation of what it is like to come out as an LGBT person and how there are the different types of reactions people will have. You have the overly supportive person who thinks that you're totally hip and cool now that you're LGBT because they think that changes you somehow. You have the one who just simply laughs and makes jokes and is kind of immature about the situation, which is obviously represented by Kevin throughout the whole episode. You have the ignorant person who doesn't want to be ignorant and is trying to be supportive but is really stupid about these matters, represented by Michael. And of course you have the person who blames their homophobia on their religion, represented by Angela. Now, I personally, as someone who considers myself to be LGBT, found this to be a very well done representation and found it to be a very relatable episode in certain situations. It also has a little tidbits here and there about Pam missing Jim and Jim missing Pam, and overall it was a great start for season 3 in my opinion. Now, for the first 8 episodes, it's mostly focused on Pam missing Jim. That is the main arc for this season, is that Pam is realizing how much Jim meant to her after he left for Stanford. We also see Jim become closer to Karen and start a relationship with her. And we also see Michael and Dwight's relationship seemingly become more established as a friendship, but kind of Michael taking more advantage of Dwight than Dwight having anything to gain from Michael. And there's a few more things scattered in here and there, like Toby winning a duck for Pam, but other than that, those are the main focuses of season 3. Then we get to episode 8, the merger. This is when the Stanford branch closes and is merged with the Scranton branch, because before this episode it was pretty much a rumor, quote unquote, that the Scranton branch would be closed and the Stanford branch would open, but you see the main dude in charge of the Stanford branch saying, nah, I'm gonna go, I think it was to Home Depot or something like that, but yeah. This brings in new characters such as Andy, we already mentioned Karen, and a few throwaway characters like Hannah and Martin and Tony. And it also brings back Jim. Jim finally comes back, and Pam is very obviously happy about this in the episode. Like at the beginning, she's all giddy and excited. But you can see throughout the episode she becomes more and more uncomfortable with his attachment to Karen, and you can see it through her facial expressions even though she doesn't directly say it. So I think that shows a lot on Jenna Fischer's acting abilities, is you can tell how she's feeling just from the facial expressions she's making, and you can tell through little interactions that Karen and Jim have a relationship, and that I think says a lot also about their acting abilities throughout the show, is if you can tell, and it also says a lot about the writing abilities, if you can tell how things are through little movements and gestures, as it says, show don't tell. I think that shows very well done writing and directing and acting. It all comes together and makes, this beautiful season. From then on, it is very obvious Pam has feelings for Jim. After this episode, we focus a lot on Pam becoming kind of stronger and more confident and growing as a person. She starts coming out of her shell more. She eventually even tells Jim how she feels in episode 23 beach games. This is where my favorite scene of the whole season and probably the whole series as a whole comes in. This is the scene where Pam walks across the walk of fire. Basically, she walks across the burning rocks, and she's all happy and really proud of herself and really confident, even though she's just burnt her fucking feet, because nobody else in the office could do it, but she could. This also leads to the scene where Pam finally tells the office how she feels and how she feels that she's been ignored by everyone, and almost as if people pretend she's not there or she doesn't exist and act as if they're friends with her but don't actually want to be friends with her, except for Jim, and how much Jim means to her and how she really valued his friendship and took it for granted. That is one of my favorite scenes because you kind of break the rule of showing and not telling, but her telling how she felt was a very huge milestone for her character, because it is something we haven't really seen her do. Pam's always been portrayed as a, meek, shy art type, and this was something that was, obviously a huge thing for her to do. But there is another element of season 3 that I really do value and love. It explores the relationship of Jan and Michael. It is very clearly shown that Jan is pretty emotionally and maybe even physically abusive towards Michael and emotionally manipulative with him. It is something that has been shown not to be a good thing, and it shows this over and time again that this is not a healthy relationship. It is very clear in the show that Jan and Michael's relationship is an unhealthy and unfit one. How Michael treats her as if she's a queen, but she treats him almost like he's just there, or he's there for convenience. She treats him very bitterly and in a very unhealthy manner. While her character became almost more crazy, I think this was because we saw more into who she really was versus who she put on as a show. I know a lot of people think it's annoying that Jan became crazier because it's sexist, but really the reason that we saw that was because she was crazy from the beginning. But we didn't see that because whenever we did see her, she wasn't who she actually is. She was portraying herself as a strong businesswoman, which is what she wanted to be. But in reality, she was fucking nuts. It is even stated very early on that Jan has very self-destructive habits, even if it doesn't seem like it. It is even stated very early on that Jan has very self-destructive habits, even if it doesn't seem like it. But it does show more that this show took serious matters and tried to portray them even to an adult audience like this, because frankly in 2007 it was almost unheard of to have a man in an abusive relationship, and it wasn't just played for laughs, it was actually shown to be a bad thing for Michael. However, we also get to episode 25, The Job Part 2, and it also begins Pam and Jim's relationship and Ryan's downfall as a character. That is my one issue with season 3. With Ryan being accepted as the new VP, his character just gets worse and worse from then on. But we see Jim finally ask Pam out on a date, and it's the cutest fucking scene ever, where she's all smiley and she says yes, she's free that night, and Jim says then it's a date, and Pam is smiley the whole time and blushing. It is the cutest fucking scene, and no matter how much people will deny it, I will fight you. I've seen many complaints from even fans saying that Jim wasn't great to Karen and things like that, but we have to keep in mind that Karen and Jim weren't great as a couple, at least in my opinion. Part of this being because of instances where Karen tries to push Jim out of his comfort zone, and they've only been dating for about 6 months. And if that seems like a long time to you guys, it's really not that long. If you're 6 months into a relationship and you're trying to already cross certain boundaries that your partner has put into place, I do think that is cause for red flags. While it did seem silly about Jim not wanting her to move close to him, it was actually something I consider to be kind of pushy from Karen, and to seemingly go over his boundaries that he had put into place. Like I said, Jim had boundaries, and she could have easily found a place, you know, further away that would have made him more comfortable. But, you know, someone pushing the boundaries of a spouse or a partner isn't a very loving relationship, as everybody wants to portray it. But the good thing about this season is we do see Ryan for how enjoyable he is before he downfalls as a character, like I already said. I rather appreciate his character in season 1, 2, and 3 because he acts as a sane force in this crazy office. But once he gets into corporate, I fucking hate his character. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Tell me things you want me to review more of. Do you want me to review season 4 of The Office? I was actually planning on reviewing a specific episode in season 3, specifically the pilot episode, Gay Witch Hunt, because I find that episode to be one of the best episodes in season 3. If you agree with me, go ahead and tell me. Vote in next polls for what you would like me to review next. I will have polls for my true crime video and review videos to see what you guys would prefer me to review. Anyways, links for those polls will be down in the description, and again, please comment telling me your thoughts on season 3 of The Office, or what is even your favorite season of The Office. Who's your favorite character in season 3? Go ahead and tell me all those lovely thoughts down below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up to make my day, and subscribe if you like my reviews and you like my true crime videos, because that would be absolutely awesome. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Peace out.